Roll the camera. Okay.
Welcome to Wake Up New Zealand News. I'm Josh.
And I'm Anna.
In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We helped them to find it. And the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house. And before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The Wahia abode was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 20 feet tall and rests on its roof, and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house, there are beds screwed to the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, and an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it yet, or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would take about 3 weeks to build, but this one took over 4 months because workers keep getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside.
We now cross over to our reporter Maya, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Maya?
Thanks, Josh. And I'm here with the owner of the house, the weird but wonderful Chelsea. And I'm feeling dizzy already, standing in this crazy house. So, Chelsea, what made you decide to build this upside-down house?
Well, I just wanted to be creative and make my life a bit more fun and exciting while getting famous along the way.
And what comment do you feel this house has upon the state of the world?
Well, the world is weird and wacky, so I thought I might join them and become more involved in the world and all its mysteriousness that it beholds.
And what are some of the challenges living in a house where the beds, bathroom and kitchen are kind of on the ceiling?
Well, I have personal assistants that strap me into the bed at night, and I have special shoes so I can walk on the wall. But having a bath is another story.
And do you think architects will design houses like this in the future?
Well, no, because I won't let them copy me. And anyway, they don't have the skill to create an upside-down house like I do. Also, only really weird people like me would want to build an upside-down house, right?
Thank you, Chelsea. That's all from me now. Back to you, Anna, in the studio.
Thanks, Maya. Even watching that makes me feel dizzy. And now for a story that is truly out of sight.
Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one top scientist says. The possibilities are endless, and we are all very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak.
What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our on-the-spot reporter Nadia with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Nadia, and with me in the studio is Jess, one of the top designers behind the invisibility cloak. Where's she gone?
Hello.
Hello, Jess. Thanks for joining me today. What inspired you to make the invisibility cloak?
Well, I love haunting people, right? And with this cloak, I can sneak up behind them and scare them without them knowing it was me.
Very cool. Can you show me how the cloak works?
Sure.
That's very awesome. What do you hope the cloak will be used for?
A new Halloween costume, as I hate seeing all those little kids walking down the streets in those little silly vampire costumes and that.
Yeah. How many cloaks have you created so far?
One so far, but I'm planning to make 3,300. Yeah, you get the point. As many as I can.
If you could haunt one person in the whole entire world, who would it be?
Mr. Metcalf.
Why?
Well, he's an awesome teacher, right? And I have to thank him one way or another. So if you're listening right now, Mr. Metcalf, thank you. But I will haunt you one day. Plus, he gave me way too much homework.
I agree. Well, that makes things very clear. And we're out of time, so over to you, Josh, in the studio.
Thanks, Nadia. And now how's this for an interesting yarn?
A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing. Police say and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. There are close-up knit, dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We're stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said earlier today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police.
We go now to a secret location with our investigative reporter Kate, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Josh. I'm Kate, and joining me in a top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Caitlin, and thanks for joining us. What led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
As a child, I was traumatised by the chill of the cold New Zealand winter, so I wanted to make a difference. I began by graffitiing my teddy bears and dolls, and then I moved on to bigger things and began to graffiti all over the city.
Do you see yourself as a criminal? Why or why not?
I am not a criminal. As you see, I am just keeping the unspoken for members of society warm. I feel that the traffic lights shine brighter now that they are kept warm.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
My dream is to graffiti houses, to keep all people of New Zealand warm. Young children can have fun throughout the winter that is now warm.
How long have you been involved with the Midnight Knitters gang?
Well, I created this gang so my peeps could express themselves through the tying of soft wool.
Thanks for your time, Caitlin of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Blake with the weather update.
Thank you, Kate, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there will be a mix of fair and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions, and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and the Hastings, the weather will be sometimes changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day and no highlights at all. It'll be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry. Everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant, they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim, and reading the newspaper. But try to stay indoors, as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms, and some very angry snow. In the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold, and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Josh and Anna.
Thanks, Blake. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed this evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Josh.
And I'm Anna.
For Wake Up New Zealand News.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.